Hello, everyone. Welcome you all to Let's Talk Poetry, presented by the Literary Warriors Group. This is Tara Khan, and you're watching me live on the Neelam Saxena page. Well, first week of August, we welcome this month with lots of hope, surprises, love, happiness, positivity, and poetry. Positivity and poetry? Does it remind you of something? Yes, yes, of the first podcast started by someone who is here with us today. So please join your hands together for Dr. Paramita Mukherjee Malik. It's an honor to have you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, Kevan Acho, ma'am.
Bhalo, bhalo.
Okay. I'm not very fluent with the language. Due respect to the language, but okay. Kemon Acho is the only thing I know in Bengali. Okay. So, friends, Uh, Paramita ma'am doesn't need an introduction and at all. Almost all of us know her, but still, I would love to read a bit in her honor. Dr. Paramita Mukherjee Malik is an internationally acclaimed poet, author, and scientist. She is a national scholar with a PhD in toxicology. She is into education for more than 30 years, being a lecturer in a degree college, the principal of a junior college, and associated with the Quality Council of India for quality management of schools all over India. She has 12 published books. Her poems have been translated into 45 languages, and her books have been translated into French, Spanish, Chinese, Croatian. Apart from writing, she promotes peace, multilingual, and indigenous poetry, and her work makes others aware about conservation and climate change. Her latest awards are Kyoto Poet of the Year, Mumbai Women Leadership Award 2024, and one among six women of India to receive an award themed Women Breaking Barriers, Leading Futures, Shaping Change. She heads three literary forums, the latest being Adda Poetry and more. She motivates through her poetry in her podcast, Positivity and Poetry. With her vast experience in education, literature, and science, she has formed a module, Power of Words, for students of school and colleges. So, Paramita Mukherjee Malik. It's an honor for us.
Hello. Yes, there is a
Can you hear me,
disturbance.
ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for such kind words,
It's an
Sarah.
honor to have you here, ma'am.
And I am so honored and humbled to be in this lovely show and interviewed by you. And my regards, please convey my regards to Neelam Saxena ma'am as well for inviting me to
Sure.
this show. And I'm really looking
Sure,
forward
sure,
to discuss about poetry with you.
sure, ma'am. So why discuss about poetry? Why not we start with a short recitation from you?
Okay, okay.
So
I
if a
will.
short poem
Yes, I'll just recite one of my very short poems, and people really
from
like this, and it's one of my favorite poems as well. It's called Suddenly. Suddenly, I'm feeling I'm flying. Suddenly, I feel I'm free. Suddenly, I feel I've fallen in love for the first time. Suddenly, I can't recognize the new me. The blue skies are brighter. All workload is lighter. Some hidden spark has ignited. Some unidentified thoughts have been sighted. Suddenly the colors have changed. All trees are looking green as if it has just rained. Suddenly the meanings have changed. All bad thoughts have drained. Am I on cloud nine? Am I sick or am I fine? Somewhere I'm finding the new me. Somehow I'm discovering the new me. Suddenly I feel I've fallen in love for the first time. Suddenly I've fallen in love with me. Thank you.
It is lovely, ma'am. It was a lovely poem. We really enjoyed listening to it. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you
Yes?
are. Yes.
Okay, okay. And your poem suddenly changed the environment. It's looking beautiful. Yeah, it was lovely. So,
Thank you.
to start with you, since you have a scientific background, how do you connect your scientific background to your poetry writing? How do you get along with the two and how they affect each other?
Okay, I'll just start with a lovely question. I'll just start with a tiny little incident which happened a few months ago. We were in a cafe, there was a party thrown by somebody. So we were all eating on the table, and I suddenly saw a insect on the wall. So nobody had noticed that, and somebody shouted out, "Oh, Paromita, you have such good observation skills." So I just smiled, but in my mind, I thought, being a scientist and a poet, you have to be observant. So I think that is the beauty of science and poetry, which makes it so similar. Observation. You cannot be a poet if you're not observant. You have to observe nature. You have to observe emotions. Similarly, in science, you have to observe under the microscope. You have to observe the experiment, how it's going. So I think observation is the similarity between science and poetry. I would love to, just to read out a tiny little quote about science and poetry by Glenn T. Seaborg. He said, "There is beauty in discovery. There is mathematics and music, a kinship of science and poetry in the description of nature, and exquisite form in a molecule. Attempt to place different disciplines and different camps are revealed as artificial in the face of unity of knowledge." So I just loved this quote because, somewhere all subjects, all different aspects are one when you think of unity of knowledge. So this is there. And secondly, I feel, secondly, I feel it has tremendously helped me. The science background has tremendously helped me in poetry. Like, because I'm a biologist, like supposing I'm discovering so many things in my garden every day, like the male nightingale and the female nightingale, the black male nightingale and the spotted gray female
Correct.
nightingale,
Correct.
the sunbirds, the sunbirds twittering in the palm trees, and the silver bills and all these. Even once, near our swimming pool, I saw a pond heron. And so, that makes me so happy because I can recognize those as a scientist, and then I can cherish those as a poet. So science helps me tremendously. And I feel that, expressing very difficult emotions in a simple way, I think that comes from science again. In science, you have to explain. If you see the definitions, they are expressed in a very simple manner. So if you see my poems, I use very simple language. I don't use very big words. If you have seen, not very, big
Correct.
vocabularies. I use very simple vocabularies. I think
And
science
your
is.
poems have a different kind of an aura. They
Oh,
are extremely simple to understand and very pleasant to the to hear. very
Thank you.
soothing to the ears. Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much. So,
So,
that,
you've
yeah,
published
yeah.
you've published 12 books. That's highly commendable in itself.
Mhm.
So, how do you choose the topics of your poetry? Any specific issues that you focus on in your poem?
As you know, I'm known as a positive poet. And yes, I have 12 books. And since I'm a positive poet, I try to bring light and darkness, and I try to bring hope and despair. So mostly all my poems bring hope. Like, I'll just give you an example. Once there was a storm in Mumbai, and a huge Kala Jamun tree was uprooted. And I wrote a poem, Uprooted, where I wrote the last line was, I searched for saplings and saw tiny saplings springing up. And that is life, isn't it? All negativities, but there will be some positivity. So I am always trying to spread positivity and happiness through my poems. And since nature gives you a lot of positivity, I write a lot of nature poems also. So, and different
And ma'am,
emotions, especially love and different emotions of humans. Yes.
while meeting you also, you give away a very positive vibe.
Thank you.
You give away a very positive vibe. So it's pleasant meeting you also in person.
Thank you
And
so much.
since you said you are a positive poet and most of your work is surrounding the positivity of the world, of nature, it's tremendously beautiful. Lovely. You are having a PhD in genetic toxicology, which, according to my little knowledge on the term, is the study of physical, chemical, and biological agents that damage chromosomes. I'm not that scientific, but this is
Absolutely.
my little knowledge.
Absolutely.
Does
Yeah.
poetry too faces any agents or challenges in the present time?
Yeah, yeah. The damage which is caused, we call it aberrations, aberrations of chromosomes. So poetry does, yes, it does face quite a number of challenge, because initially when I came to poetry, I saw that prose was more prevalent, more popular than poetry. So then, I got this in my head. I need to promote poetry, and I try to promote poetry in my little way, however I can, how much I can. So that I saw that poetry is not promoted much, and that's why like for the last 4 years, I've been doing these multilingual poetry programs at Nehru Center Library, where like the very dynamic Arti Desai and me, we started this poetry program. So this is yeah. So this is poetry, and the second challenge is, sorry, I think Sarah, her internet is having some problem. So I will carry on with my poetry, talking about the problems of poetry. And then I feel that sometimes, like poetry is, people bring in different kinds of aspects which are not needed, like pornography in poetry, dirt in poetry. That is not needed. Poetry is the most beautiful form of literature, where I feel that we should keep it soothing, we should keep it sweet and clean and nice. And again, there is a publisher problem also. Most big publishers, they don't like publishing poetry. But I do have a very good experience with my Mumbai publishers and all traditional publishers. I have a very, very good experience with them, and I'm very happy with Mumbai publishers. But again, some publishers, I moved on to some different publishers. Some tried to con me, some tried to, some are so irresponsible. So I'm hoping and I'm praying to God that I get again good publishers to publish my poems. So it's like that. So Sarah, are you there? Hello? Sarah, are you there? I think Sarah is having an internet problem. Hello? Please excuse me. I'll just see what happened to Sarah. Hello?
Hello, hello, hello. Am I audible, ma'am?
Sorry. Hello, Sarah. Yes, I was unmuted because I was calling you. Yes. So you
I
had some
am so
internet
sorry.
problems, right?
Just
Yes. Yes. I
internet
just
issues, internet issues.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No issues. I
yeah.
completed the answer, so we can go to the next question now.
Okay, okay. So, ma'am, what do you want to say to the budding writers? Any tips that would help them? Any tips for us, the budding writers?
I think the first tip is go on writing, don't stop. And the second tip is be genuine, write from your heart. There is no alternative to sincerity, there is no alternative to genuinity. And again, there is like use simple and relatable language, and I personally feel, because I personally feel, because I'm from science, maybe I personally feel we need to be quite, we don't need to be fake, like me. I put out my raw heart on paper. We don't need to cover it up with
Correct.
very beautiful flowery language. I just open my heart on paper, that's it. And I that raw material is the most beautiful poetry which comes out of your heart. And I feel that that is very important. And be yourself, don't try to imitate anybody. And that's the best poetry that comes out of something.
So well explained, and that's really beautiful. And I hope the youngsters, the Gen Zs, are watching this and learning from this. So, we would like to know what your podcast, Positivity and Poetry, is all about. And how did this lovely title come to your mind?
So I'll answer your first part of the question. Positivity and poetry. Now, I started this podcast to spread positivity through my poetry. Okay, so, and it is quite motivational. It is spreading happiness, it is spreading positivity, it is motivating. And I use good virtues, talk about good virtues, like if you see renewal, reinvention, reconnecting. Again, if you see dedication, there are different segments: dedication, determination, discipline. These virtues which take us forward, which virtues which make us an integrated, responsible human being. So, the honest, responsible human being, these virtues are so very important. And more people see, they're becoming fake, they're becoming dishonest, they are becoming irresponsible. So, I think at my
So,
age, I have reached a stage where I am into education, into science, into literature. I felt that I need to do something to help others, to motivate them to be good human beings with honesty and responsibility. So I started this positivity and poetry. And the name, of course, because I am a positive poet, I thought, why not positivity and poetry, because I motivate through
Lovely,
my poetry.
lovely, lovely. And I've watched those that show of yours on YouTube. It's just awesome. It gives a
Thank you.
different kind of a feeling.
Thank
Yes.
you.
So, what do you have to say about the translations of your book in so many languages? My God, lovely. That's really
Thank,
too incredible. So,
thank you.
let us know how similar are these translations to your original writing, ma'am.
Uh, I myself am very happy that my poems have been translated into 45 languages. And like you said, my books have been translated into French, Spanish, Chinese, and Croatian. I like, the languages I know, or the languages I understand a little. I can say, like, say, of course, if it's Hindi, Marathi, Urdu, all these, so I can understand. They really represent what I'm trying to say. Even languages like Assamese or Oriya, which I understand quite a bit, are really like they express or preserve my thoughts in detail. So I'm very happy. And like in my books, the world languages, I don't know about the different languages, but the Croatian book, Ibtida, my 12th book, Ibtida, the beginning, it talks about the history, geography, the legends, the myths, the mythology of Croatia. So I really wanted it to be
Mm.
in Croatian, and I dedicated it to the people of Croatia. So I was very happy when the translation happened in Croatian. So these
And
are the
what
feelings.
kind of feeling? I mean, this is really very good that your books have been translated into 45 languages. That's an honor itself. So
Not
it's
books.
really
Those are the
commendable,
poems.
and it's
Sorry, Sarah. Those are the poems which have been translated, and books in 4 languages. Yeah,
okay,
poems,
okay, lovely,
poetry.
lovely, ma'am, lovely,
Yeah,
lovely,
thank you.
and it's lovely to hear that. I mean, and what kind of feeling are you very proud of yourself? I mean, if someone else would have been in your place, that person would have been very arrogant. But you are very down to earth, and it's lovely to talk to you like this, like and
Sarah. With this,
so
I have to.
what?
Sarah, sorry, I have to quote Perles Buck, where she says, "So, simplicity is the ultimate of sophistication," and I believe in it totally.
True, true, ma'am. True, ma'am. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Very true. So, what qualities, according to you, make a poem stand out?
Firstly, the
Hello.
biggest quality. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
the
Yes, ma'am.
biggest quality
Listening.
which makes a poem stand out is, I think, when it reaches the hearts of others, when people can relate to it, when his or her life experiences. Supposing a reader is reading Sarah Khan's poem, and he or she thinks, "Oh my God, this life experience, I have had it. This emotion, I too had it." So this expression where they are so happy that it's relatable to your work, I think such poetry stands out. And even and like I said, it should connect to your heart. And again, a poem, the choice of words in a poem is very important. The choice of words, so that it's again easy and understandable, and the right kind of word you are using. And again, again, I believe as a positive poet that a poetry should be a happy poetry. It should soothe, it should calm, it is like a balm. It's smooth, it smoothens your life. But again, there is poetry
Lovely.
which helps in, like going forward, rising, like if you see Maya Angelou, she says, still I rise. Poems like that which make you
Yeah.
agitated about something, and you go forward. And again, so these are things which, so poetry is a painting with words, I feel. It should be a painting with
Beautiful.
metaphors, similes, and other poetic devices to make it beautiful. So if you, I'll
Lovely,
just
lovely.
end this
Beautiful.
question with Leonardo Vinci's saying, where painting is poetry that is seen rather than felt, and poetry is painting that is felt, and poetry is painting that is felt rather than seen. So
Beautiful. Wonderful.
that's poetry.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So beautifully explained in a poetic way. So, poets, you are proving that poets actually talk poems. And that's what our show is all about. Let's talk poetry.
Yes,
Okay.
let's talk poetry. Yes.
So, tell us something about your module. How is your module, Power of Words, actually contributing to the upliftment of students?
That's a wonderful question, because this is so, my ideation is so much to my heart. Now, I've been into education more than 30 years now, and into go around all schools, more than 250 schools. I've gone all around India, to help in quality management. And I am into education, teaching, and then I'm into literature, I'm into science. So I felt that, there are certain things we need to teach students, which teachers, I really respect teachers and principals a lot. That you are also a teacher, you will know that you do your best to impart the best or imbibe the best of education
Correct.
to your students. But there's a lack of time due to the heavy load of syllabus, continuous examinations. So I felt I need to make a module where I can have workshops with students, whether it's middle school students, or higher secondary or junior college, that is, or even degree college students, where I can have workshops and tell them these, so where I, I help them in problem solving ability, to communicate better, express themselves with more clarity. Their interaction skills will enhance from this module, Power of Words. Then their grasping power will be better. Ethical values will be deep rooted. Thinking ability will be sharpened, and their latent creativity will be expressed. So, this is my thought behind my module, Power of Words. So, and I do a lot of,
Lovely,
there,
lovely.
I teach them, say, poetry writing, poetry appreciation, creative writing. Even I talk about conservation awareness, about conservation and climate change, and effective communication, public speaking, like how to memory retention, overcoming examination stress, and so on and so
Beautiful,
forth.
beautiful. And this initiative taken by you is just wonderful. I
Thank
mean,
you.
it helps the students grasp a lot of knowledge, learn a lot, because nowadays students are not. I mean, nothing is going in the mind that much. But if there are educators like you, then surely there will be a change.
No, 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 no. Students are very sweet. You are like be. I know you love students, but students are sweet. They are like a mold of. They are like some mold of clay. You have to mold them. They
All
are
of
a
them.
blob of clay. They are a blob of clay, and you have to mold them according to our education. So with the
True, true.
molding
They're
is
like a
very
flower.
important.
They're
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
flower. The more you
yeah.
water them and
Water
you
them,
give them the
bloom,
correct
they
sunlight
bloom.
and all,
Yeah, give them the
they'll glow.
sunlight, they bloom. So for their blooming, for their molding, and they are just raw blob of clays. So we are there to help them. We educators, we literary persons, or whatever, like people like us who are blessed, who can help students go forward and have a happy life, a happy, responsible life. So
Lovely, lovely, ma'am. So, Paramita, ma'am, all your questions have been answered really nicely, very lovely.
thank
But
you,
we will
thank
not
you.
leave you like this.
Oh, oh,
We have a special.
there's more to come. There's
Hello,
more to come.
am I audible?
Yes, 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 you are. Hello.
Okay. So, but we will not leave you like that. We
Okay.
have a special game, a
Okay.
rapid fire round, in which I will be asking and you will be answering. So, to the
Yeah.
Kyoto Poet of the Year, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
So, the first question goes like this: the family member who admires my poems a lot.
My daughter.
Oh, lovely, lovely. And you even have a book with her, right?
Yes.
She has
Yes.
co authored one of your books, right?
Yes. Mother-daughter dialogue. Yes.
Lovely, lovely. If I could describe my love for saris in a poetic way, what would it be?
Uh, it's the epitome of elegance and tradition.
Lovely, lovely. It is like this timeless dress was surely made to match your endless grace, ma'am.
Oh,
Sari
thank you.
looks really
Thank you.
beautiful on you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tomorrow is
Okay.
National Handloom Day. Tomorrow is National Handloom Day. So I wore this Solapuri
Oh,
sari. Yes.
lovely, lovely. You look very beautiful, as ever,
Thank you. Thank you. And you look
as
beautiful
always.
too.
Thank you. So, my favorite translation of my poem,
My favorite translation of my poem. There's this poem called What If, and the translation in Hindi.
lovely, lovely. My first ever published poem.
First ever
This
published
is the
poem.
question where most of the poets get stuck because they don't remember their first ever published poem. They've gone too ahead.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
also don't, but I can remember my first published book, which was Life, a collection of poems, and all poems are very, very dear to me, very my favorite of me. Like I love them all. But one poem I can say, Freedom, which my father used to love a lot, you know. My father liked that poem a lot, and my husband also loves that poem. It's called Freedom. So I remember that as my very favorite first poem.
Lovely, lovely. So, the next question. I like poetry because it gives me what?
I love poetry because it gives me immense happiness and satisfaction and opens up the world to me.
So wonderfully answered, ma'am. That's really a beautiful answer. So, what kind of poetry is usually more close to me? A rhyme, free verse, haiku, etc. What kind of poetry is very close to you?
Rhyme, rhyme. I am rhyme is all time my favorite. I love rhyming my poems. I love rhyming my poems. I
I
just
think
love
so.
it.
I think so. I knew this answer. I knew
Yeah,
this answer.
yeah. I do write in free verse sometimes now, but I love rhyming. I love rhyming. And I don't know
Lovely, lovely.
that
It's good.
process of rhyming gives me a great joy. It delights me absolutely. Delights me.
It's good to hear that. Really good to hear that.
Yeah.
So, next question. According to you, one mistake every poet should avoid in his her writings.
And the very basic mistake of grammatical errors and wrong spellings.
Right, right. Very, very nicely observed. Very nicely pointed out, ma'am. Lovely. If I could appoint an actress to enact one of my poems, who would it be?
Meryl Streep.
Oh, oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. You like her?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's so
She's
mature
amazing.
and
So lovely.
yeah.
Okay. So the two things that poetry connects to each other.
Please come again. I didn't get your question. Sarah?
The two things that
Hmm.
hello, are you able
Yeah,
to hear
yes,
me?
yes, yes, I am. Yes.
So
The two things.
okay, so the two things that poetry connects to each other. The two things that get connected because of poetry. Let me reframe
Human
it.
mind, human mind with nature. Human mind with nature.
Lovely. So that was actually the question answer in my mind too. I knew you would answer something like that. Lovely answer. I hope I'm audible to you, ma'am.
Yes, yes, you are. Yes.
Okay. So one famous line I admire from a poem not written by me.
Not written by my. Oh, this is a tricky one. Can I can I repeat a film dialogue if you allow me about
Sure, sure,
poetry?
sure.
Yeah,
Sure, ma'am, sure.
it's by Robin Williams, a Dead Poets Society, where he says, "We don't read or write poetry because it is cute. We read or write poetry because we belong to the human race, and the human race is full of passion. Medicine, engineering, science, law, business, all these are essential pursuits of life and they are much needed. But love, poetry, these are things love, beauty, poetry, these are things we stay alive for."
Beautiful, wonderful, wonderful, lovely, lovely. So that's your rapid fire round. That's
Yes.
over. You win a 10 out of 10 in this rapid fire. And I apologize if the questions were a bit tricky. So,
No, the questions were very
with this,
much to
we
my
call
heart,
off for the day.
and yeah, thank you, Sarah. The questions were very much to my mind, and I loved answering the previous questions as well as the rapid fire round questions. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely. It was a pleasure to have you with us here, ma'am. And friends residing in Mumbai or outside, all are welcome to attend Paramita ma'am's Adda Poetry Meets and even her other literary forums. Trust
Thank you.
me, it's fun, it's entertaining, and y'all will love it.
Thank
I
you.
go for the Adda Poetry Meets, and she makes you feel so comfortable. It's just lovely. Okay.
Thank you.
Along
Thank you.
with that, don't
Thank
forget to meet us in Lucknow for the LWG Litfest 4.0, which will be quite entertaining for all literature lovers. So, with this, we end this show. Hope to see you all soon. Thank you. Keep writing, keep learning. All power to your pen. Thank you. Bye. Good
you.
night.
Bye. Good night. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, once more. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.